I don't have too much in my kitchen, but what I do have is lamb and figs.
I love worm pizza.
Okay, here's my beef with lettuce, alright?
Oh, you're darn right, I'm a pie man. Also, if you're making frosting, you can add meringue powder to make the frosting a lot stiffer. Yeah, it was good times. You know, chicken vindaloo and Indian food with the basmati rice, some samosas, potato. Hello and welcome to the show. I'm OJ, and with me as always is the supercalifragilisticexpialidocious ballsiest man alive, John Mother Zicking Rambo himself.
That is correct.
How are you doing on this fine March evening, sir?
I'm doing pretty good, man, but I think we're going to have to rethink this every 5 episodes thing for you.
Why?
Because you're getting all, like, the marquee, like, spectacular episode. This is episode 25.
Yeah?
Episode 50 I'm definitely doing. I'm calling it right now.
All right, then I'll take 49.
Okay, I'll have to figure something out, some kind of deal.
Look, I could take every 5, just do it on the 1s or 2s or some random number. You know what?
Because you're getting all the special episodes, man.
All right. Give me number 2 and give me number 7. Give me numbers 2 and 7, or 3 and 8.
We'll have to work something out off the air. We'll make a trade.
It's just what this.
We'll trade baseball cards and food and candles.
This is. But this is.
All right, let's continue here. All right. All right, my friends, welcome to the show. We've actually a very packed lineup today. First off, OJ, we're going to talk about some stuff for a while. Right?
Fancy that.
Then get this, okay? We'll be joined by LSDraw, love, sex, and dating experts. And they'll be answering the questions that you, the Ramborgia, sent in for them last week. I want to thank everyone that did actually submit their questions. You're all beautiful people, and you continue to impress the hell out of me. So later on today, they're going to give out their relationship and dating advice to everyone. But that isn't all on the show today. Oh, no, it is not.
But wait, there's more.
Wait, there's more. We'll be having our first musical guest. So Allison Packard was the first to play a live song on the show. Mm-hmm. But today we'll have our first official musical guest as well. He's a gentleman that has supplied the show with a pile of good, wholesome music, making a lot of the music and the intros for the shows. HonoredVillager will be here to play a live song for you, for me, and for OJ.
Yeah.
It's very cool. And again, we're looking for more musical guests. So if you would like to perform live on the show, a live song on the show, please send us a message to stayballsy@gmail.com, and then we'll figure something out and get you on here. Right?
Do it.
And of course, the show is available for download in MP3 form at geekfiregifts.com/show. And if you want one of the just 6 remaining official The Show t-shirts, you better go to geekfiregifts.com/shop and get one of those, right?
Wow, just 6?
Yeah, there's 6 left. Pretty happy with the shirt sales. I was thinking about it today. I was looking at the stats.
Yeah.
We went through like 27 shirts in a month, something like that.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, because the first one we sold was February 13th.
Yeah, and we went through that many, huh?
In a month, yeah, it was very cool. Really appreciate.
Thank you guys very
much. All the big support there. It's also cool to get rid of these things. So there are boxes in my room of them. And it's crowded as it is, so it's nice to get rid of them. And there's only a few left. Get one if you want it. And unfortunately, the only size that's left is large. But,
it's the most versatile size.
Most versatile size. You make some alterations, bring it to your tailor, maybe they'll cut some pieces out for you or something, and size it to you. I don't know.
Lovely.
So, OJ, what's going on this week, man? What were you up to? I heard something about you stole a plane or something.
I didn't steal. Okay. So, one of my friends at work is, he was talking about how he's a pilot. I was like, well, that's pretty cool. And he wants to get more hours so he can, apply for more licenses and stuff and blah, blah, blah. So he offered to take me up in a plane, a small 1-engine, 2-seater plane. So I drove him up to a nearby local airport where he pretty much knew everybody there and went over there, signed some papers, and walked off with the keys to a filled up ready. I think it was an eaglet plane.
Eaglet?
I think that's the name of the plane, an eaglet.
Okay.
And so we walk over to this. Like, this thing is tiny. Like, I'm confused as how I'm going to fit in the cockpit, first of all. It is tiny. Like, there's 2 seats and then a small area behind the seats to stow stuff. And there's 2 sets of controls in the plane that are always active. So no matter what, the controls in front of me, like, there's a stick that's sticking out, like,
the
right
missiles
in
and
my
the rear
chest.
turrets.
No, it looks like it, and there's buttons on the top. He told me those are the only things that are disabled. And I'm starting to wonder why. And and then by my feet, I can't stretch my legs out all the way because that's the controls for the flaps.
So did you actually fit in the plane?
Yeah. It looked small and was kind of awkward, but it was, once I got in there, it was actually pretty comfortable. More comfortable than in a real airplane.
Did you make references to Rocketeer?
Oh, I totally should have.
Or to Tailspin?
Oh my gosh. What was it? Baloo.
Did you tell him to call you Baloo the Bear?
No, but I definitely should have. It was amazing. I mean, like, first of all, like, he had to do this whole checklist of make sure the plane's okay, check this, check that, make sure the fuel is right. Went through all this stuff. We checked the coolant. It looked a little low. Made sure everything was fine. And then it was like, okay, so we actually have to get into the plane now. And the thing that startled me most is before you can actually start the plane and get it to go, you have to, it's got a prop, so you got to make sure that there's nobody in the way. So it's like, in golf, you yell 4. So my friend,
right.
He's talking normally to me, then all of a sudden he's like, all right, you ready to go? I'm like, yeah. And then he just opens a little window in the side of the plane, and this goes, prop clear! I'm like, whoa, okay.
Like, whoa.
Yeah, yes.
So how long has this dude been flying for?
I think a long time. He actually has a lot of friends from college who fly too, and they'd fly down to other cities just to hang out with people and whatnot, just rent a plane and go.
It's a whole community of pilots.
Mm-hmm. It seemed to be very tight knit. Also, everyone seemed to know everybody else at the airport, and they were all really, really nice people. It was great. We flew for about 2 hours or so.
It was like the show Wings.
I asked him about that, and he said he never saw it. I was so sad.
God.
I mean, come on, Lowell and the brothers and
I think I just
Tony
I just made like 4 references to 1993 in like a 4-minute time span.
All we need to do is fit in Balky, and we're set.
Yes.
But it was a wonderful experience. I mean, I don't know if I'd ever want to fly myself because it sounds like it's a lot of, a huge time investment and probably a huge money investment, but it was...
How's the plane feel? Does it feel like pretty secure, or is it like, one of those wooden planes that those guys had to like turn the nose and spin the nose to get started?
No, it is very secure. It feels very stable. I mean, even when we hit some turbulence when we were descending, it still felt completely fine. The stuff was shaking, but I never felt like we were in trouble or anything.
Where'd you guys go?
We flew over by where we live, flew over there, then flew back down to where we work, and then to my apartment, and then as a special bonus, he didn't tell me he was going to do this, we started flying down the Hudson River.
Oh, wow.
And
you saw the terrible pollution and filth.
Oh, it was lovely. Well, first of all...
and
I'm
the
like,
bodies floating.
He's like, oh, yeah, that's Westchester County Airport. I'm like, oh, okay. Wait, is that the Tappan Zee Bridge? Yes. Wait a second. And we just keep flying south. And then he's talking on the radio. And seriously, there's a lot of chatter on airplane radios. Like, you keep in contact with whatever airport or tower you're closest to. And when you switch into another one, you tell them, okay, switching, and then you switch to the next one. And they give you a frequency to go on to and stuff like that. And a couple times they're like, keep an eye out. I forgot what our call sign was, but keep an eye out because there's another plane, blah, 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 blah. And so we'd have to be like, keep our eyes out until we found the other plane and said, okay, we see him, we're clear. Because you got to make sure.
Did you go to the big city of dreams? Did you go to New York?
Yeah, we did.
So you looked at a Danbury, right? In Danbury, Connecticut?
Yeah.
And you went to... So how long does it take to go from Danbury, Connecticut to New York City in the plane?
Not that long, dude.
It's like a joke.
It was... I mean,
Really?
we were flying for about 2 hours, but we spent a long time circling around where my parents live. A long time circling around our office and where our friends live and where I live. And then we
You gave them all the finger from a 1,000 feet.
It may have just rained on their houses that day.
Oh wow! Whoa, okay.
But
you brought some buckets
there's
with
a
you.
small window in the airplane that you can push open, but I elected not to do that. But yeah, it didn't take very long at all to get to New York. I think our ground speed went over 100 for a while too. So 100 miles per hour, that is. So we went. Yeah, it was pretty fast, and I was amazed. The view from everything. New York City looks incredibly different. I mean, you've seen photos of it from the sky, but seeing it in 3 dimensions in front of you like that is way different because you can't tell if it's huge or tiny. You just see these huge square, rectangular prism spires going up into the sky.
And then Danbury probably looks like a big field of swamp, basically.
Oh
right?
gosh, we were trying to find Peach Lake. And we're like, there's a lake, there's a lake, there's a lake, there's too many lakes.
Man. Right.
But I don't think we even found we didn't find we found one of the reservoirs too. And I was looking for the other lake that people go swimming in Westchester, but I couldn't find that either.
Just have to follow the smells, man.
The smells? You didn't smell anything but
follow the disgusting stench coming from the water.
You smell nothing up there, man. It's funny. The smell of the airplane, I can't place it. It smelled familiar, but not. It smelled like a mixture of, I don't know, high-test gasoline, rubbing alcohol, and mouthwash.
Yeah, you love the smoke up there?
I don't believe so.
All right, so you had a pleasant outing on a private plane.
Oh gosh, it was wonderful.
Would you do it again?
Probably. It was awesome.
You're gonna feel. We're gonna have to This is your new mission for the show.
What?
We're gonna send you. I just thought of this now. This is brilliant. We're gonna send you on different adventures, and then you're gonna come back and report to us how it was. So you went up on a plane. This weekend you'll be jumping out of a plane.
No.
And then by week 3 you'll be flying your own plane and telling it. And each week you'll report about these things.
I think I'd rather fly a plane than jump out of a plane. Because you
Really?
jump out of the plane, you're guaranteed having to jump out of the plane. If you're flying the plane, there's a chance you won't have to jump out of the plane.
There's a chance you will, though.
Right, in which case, okay, then I'm skydiving after all.
Right.
One thing, though, the one joke that my friend pointed out was like, yeah, I didn't get a perfect landing, but I had a great landing. I'm like, that's a great land? Well, yeah, it was pretty good. I thought it was an excellent landing. He's like, no. You see, a good landing is one you can walk away from. A great landing is one where the plane is reusable.
Oh.
That's a little grim.
Just like Blue the Bear. Why the hell did they take the characters from Jungle Book and make them fly planes? I'll never understand.
How do you make that jump?
I don't know.
We got this awesome
Why was
bear.
Launchpad in every show?
Because he's awesome. He was
All right.
the best character.
All right, we're moving on from this topic.
No, Darkwing Duck rocks, okay?
So did you know this week a holiday passed? Did you know this? Did you know what holiday it was?
International Women's Day?
The Ides of March.
That's today, dude.
Beware the Ides of March.
That's
OJ.
today, dude. I was thinking that when I was doing the entrance. I didn't want to say anything. Oh.
You must beware the Ides of March.
Well, it's the Ides of March now. I'm in my house.
Hear
Am I
my
going to choke
words,
on a peanut?
OJ. OJ, hear my words.
Yes?
You're not hearing my words.
I'm hearing your words now.
So,
Say it again.
So, of course, the Ides of March, the day that a soothsayer warned Julius Caesar that he would be harmed no later than on the Ides of March. By telling him, beware the Ides of March, right?
Yeah.
And Ides means half, so it's
Yep.
like halfway through the month of March. So on that day, it was 44 BC when this happened, Caesar arrives at the Theater of Pompeii. It was a celebration for the god Mars. That it actually was a holiday at one point,
Wouldn't surprise me.
and it was a celebration of the god Mars. So he arrives at this theater, and he laughs and he boasts. And he says, "Ha! The Ides of March have come. The prophecy has not been fulfilled. I'm Caesar. Ha ha." Right?
Yeah.
And then a couple minutes later, he was stabbed 23 times. He was assassinated by a group of 60 conspirators led by his best friend Brutus. Et tu, Brute. So So what do you have to say about this event here?
Are you saying you're lurking near my apartment and you're going to kill me before midnight?
I'm just saying you better beware of the Ides of March.
Frel.
And of course now it's a holiday where children gather around their family's Caesar statue, and then Caesar Claus appears and grants gifts to the children that stab him the hardest. That is what it currently is. It's actually surprising to me that Hallmark or whoever hasn't tried to turn it into a holiday yet. And sell some, like some cards out of this.
That would be pretty sick. I'm just picturing the cards that have like red tissue paper on the inside that spills out like a pop-up book when you open it.
Well, how many holidays have they created to sell these cards?
A lot.
Well, I think someday the Ides of March will become some sort of a holiday created by Hallmark, and you will have like a Caesar piñata that you stab, and then this, so maybe some candies come out. It'll be a combination of Hallmark and Hershey coming together to make this holiday.
Oh my gosh, a chocolate bust of Caesar with raspberry on the inside for blood.
So what are your thoughts? Oh, jeez. Now you're getting crazy.
What?
So what are your thoughts on this day, the Ides? Today's the Ides. And the fall of Caesar. Do you miss Caesar? What do you think about this whole thing?
I guess I would say that it's kind of... If there's one thing, today's a day to worry about hubris, to really reflect on if you're on your high horse, be careful because you're about to get knocked off it.
Well, there's conflicting things about what really happened. Was he was, insane with power and they had to kill him? But there's other people that say perhaps they were just jealous.
Yeah, there's no way of knowing, really.
Caesar's one of those guys that people will know forever.
Even
in order
Batman.
to be known forever, you have to have like a grand life. And then like an insane death, I think, and then people will remember you.
Hey, I mean, even Batman invokes Caesar's name when he says, "Great Caesar's ghost," or Robin.
Well, that's not really bad. That's Adam West.
Close enough. Adam
That's
West.
That's hippie Batman. It's a totally different thing.
But I mean, seriously, it seriously is something to consider, though. If you're thinking you're all like rocking the house.
So that's what you're taking from this day. You're saying that you should not become a conceited person. I guess he was. If that's true, that he actually said that, he boasted that, oh, it's the Ides, Look, I'm still here. What about this prophecy?
I mean, it's really good to just take a step back and really think, hey, is are my beliefs about myself set in reality? Am I being too haughty? Do I think I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread? And sliced bread.
Flaunting my wares.
Yeah, am I treating everybody else like I'm better than them?
It's also a lesson I get. I don't get that from. You should listen to your soothsayer.
I don't have a soothsayer though.
Well,
you're my.
You should get one, and
you just
should listen to them.
Did you just say my sooth? Like saying that I should watch out for today?
I don't know what you're talking about anymore.
You told me to beware the Ides of March.
I am your soothsayer.
Yeah, so I'm listening to you.
Don't you understand?
I'm staying away. I asked you, and you said no.
I told you. No, you asked me if I was going to assassinate you. That is not the case.
No, I asked you if you said
I am the one warning
earlier.
you. I am the one warning you to beware the Ides, and you are becoming a Caesar-ish person. Did you have a Caesar salad today?
No, but I had a salad, though.
You got a Caesar salad, didn't you? That's disrespectful.
I don't like Caesar salad. I don't like the dressing.
All right.
Well, either way, I'll just stay away from sharp objects until midnight. How about that?
Was my favorite segment we ever did on the show, by the way.
Which?
The one we just did.
Amazing. Let's have a recap.
All right, so the only other thing for me this week, I was in a Mass Effect coma all week. I'm playing the crap out of this game. I've done, at this point, I don't want to talk about too much. We'll talk about more about next week, because I'll probably be done by then. But I've done every possible mission in the game, except for the final mission. I've done everything, including finding all the stuff on the planets.
Oi!
And then bringing them back to the Citadel and finding these people and giving them these stupid items that you find and all this stuff. I'm waiting to do the final mission because I first have to dump a ton of hours into the multiplayer so I can then get the best ending in the single player. That makes a lot of sense, right?
Can I vomit now?
No, I'm sure everyone knows about this by now, but yes, the multiplayer affects the single player campaign. And the way it works is, like, as you play the multiplayer, you make this percentage score go up, right? Mm-hmm. As you play it. And it's pretty slow. It's going to take me a long time, okay? And if you get it high enough, and you do a lot of stuff in the single player campaign, then you get a better ending, right?
Mm-hmm.
But here's the best part of it: if you don't play the game for like a day, the score will drop. Like real time affects the scores.
So wait, if you play it though, does it not drop?
If you play it every day, it'll stay. It'll maintain it. But you have to play like within a 24-hour period. So it's a very strange idea. I don't know why the multiplayer affects the single player. You know, so I've seen people defend it, and they're like, "But the multiplayer's fun."
That's irrelevant. You're being
It's
forced
like,
to play
it's kind of fun, but
okay.
But,
candy is delicious. I'm going to force you to eat candy.
Fun. What was that?
Candy is delicious. I'm going to force you to eat candy. But it's delicious.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, if I played all 3 Mass Effect games, I did every mission in all those games, everything I could possibly do in those games, played them several times over. Do I not deserve the real ending without playing the multiplayer? Do I really have to play the multiplayer to get this ending?
Yes.
So I don't know about that. And it's pretty fun. The multiplayer is pretty fun, but you basically just fight, like, it's your team, and you fight the CPU, the AI, that comes in waves, and you just shoot them.
Nah.
It's pretty fun, but it's not like something I want to play, like, 10 hours of, which is probably what I'm going to have to do, so. The game also had day 1 DLC, which is $10. But with all that being said, I'm really enjoying the hell out of the game, and I will have my full report and review next week on the show. So I'm hoping to finish it up tomorrow.
Yeah.
I have out of multiplayer to go.
Well, I've heard about some other day 1 DLC issues.
Oh, they've been doing that.
Well, apparently, so someone's going to have to verify this for me, because I read about this, I think, yesterday, and I haven't had a chance to verify it for myself, that Street Fighter Cross Tekken has DLC, like, characters on the disc or something. That,
yeah, we talked about that last week,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. But there's another thing, that the PlayStation version has a feature the Xbox version doesn't, and it's in the manual.
Oh, really? Like they put it in the Xbox manual?
Yeah, it's something that
What's
they
the
got
feature?
to work on the PlayStation first and didn't finish for the Xbox. Apparently,
What is
it's I think it's letting 2 people. It's some sort of online. This is what I heard, that it's some sort of online co-op where 2 people can play. One person plays one guy on your team, one person plays the other, and you play online, but you're both in the same room in your house. Like we're on, and then you alternate. You play that way. Apparently, that's in the PlayStation version, but not the Xbox version. I don't know if this is true. Can someone verify this for me? I mean, I'd be playing now, but I'm here and enjoying myself.
I don't know. Things are pretty out of control these days with the DLC
Yeah.
and all that stuff. It's interesting though, because this stuff, especially Mass Effect, people are complaining a lot about these different things, like the Day 1 DLC and all this other stuff. But everyone bought the game,
Yeah.
so it doesn't really matter. You complain all you want. You gave them your money. And then how many people that are complaining about the Day 1 DLC bought the DLC?
Exactly, right?
So it doesn't really bother them. I mean, they go, oh, they're complaining about, oh, they bought it. So, like I always say, the best way to make them stop doing this stuff is don't buy it.
Yeah.
If you bought the game and you bought the DLC, you can complain, but I don't know if that's going to really matter at this point.
What about Dragon Age? Didn't Dragon
Age did the
2?
same thing.
It had a guy in it that advertised for the DLC. Come help my village. Oh, I'd love to help your village. Give me $20.
Well, that's the thing. Like Dragon Age had it also. People complained then, but it didn't stop them from buying Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It's tough.
Oh, by the way, you asked me if there was a holiday we missed this week. Yeah, last Thursday was International Women's Day, like I thought.
I was talking about real holidays, like the Ides of March.
Okay.
How long are we talking about the Ides of March in the show for? I mean, come on, dude.
All right. We're done. I just wanted to say that I was right about that. But
I want to talk about one other thing. I want to tell you about this. You might find this funny. I went to a wrestling show on last Friday.
Oh, cool.
It was in New Jersey.
Oh.
And it was an independent promotion putting on this event. And I usually always go to these shows whenever I can. If I can go to these shows, like these local shows, I'll go to them because they're usually a lot of fun,
Yeah.
You never know, like, who or what you might see go on. Like, anything could happen at these shows. You came to a few with me.
Yeah, dude, that was fun.
I think you came to, like, ECW and a couple other indie shows. But this show in particular, probably the strangest occurrences I've witnessed at a wrestling show. All right? And this will be interesting, even if you don't like wrestling or anything. This will probably kind of make you chuckle, hopefully. So the main event was supposed to be Matt Hardy versus Psycho Sid. And Sid's a guy that was a big star in the 80s and 90s. And he's not really around too much anymore. So a lot of people came out to see him at the show. But he didn't show up.
Ha.
So the guy who runs this company, he runs this promotion, he comes out to the ring when it starts. It's the first thing that happens. He comes out to the ring. And he basically goes nuts on Sid. He's cursing at him, calling him, a piece of garbage and all this stuff. Then he pulls out his cell phone. He calls Sid on the phone, putting the phone into, the microphone. So you hear Sid on the phone. And he's yelling at Sid. And then he has everyone in the building chant, F you, Sid. And everyone does it. And some people say, break your leg, Sid, because you can find this on YouTube. There's a famous thing that happened to him where his leg broke in the ring. It was pretty disgusting, but people were chanting, break your leg and stuff. It was pretty crazy. And then he gave out Sid's number to everyone on over the microphone. He goes, if you want to call Sid, here's his number. It's pretty insane.
That's wow. There's a lot of. Well, I mean, it's like you book somebody and they don't show up. That's bad, man.
He was really annoyed with that. He was very mad.
Yeah, no kidding.
So I was like, all right, this is kind of a strange vibe right off the start here. So what happens is Sid didn't come, so he hired a couple other guys to come in, kind of take his place, So the first match was Marty Jannetty. This guy he goes way back. He was Shawn Michaels' tag team partner in the 80s and 90s, and it's an old school guy versus Balls Mahoney. Balls Mahoney, ECW hardcore legend. I haven't seen him in a long time. So I've seen both these guys before, and it was a strange pairing of guys. So I was pretty excited to watch this. They have a match. It's about 2 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly the match ends. Just ends out of nowhere. Balls just gets a quick win, pin and wins. And then Balls, he doesn't really look too good in the ring, right? He runs over to the ropes, and he pukes all over the outside of the ring. So right in front of kids and their parents and stuff, he pukes 4 times.
Oh.
But in his defense, he probably, he wasn't supposed to be there in the first place.
Yeah.
So they probably called him please, can you call him so he didn't show up or whatever? Can you please come and, work for us tonight? And maybe he's not in the best shape or whatever, and he wasn't expecting it. So
he ate a lot, probably.
Who knows? You're running around and you're not in shape, you might puke. It's just how it is.
Yeah, it's life.
So I don't fault him or anything like that. And plus, he's an older dude at this point. But it was just so crazy, man. If you can imagine the sight.
Oh. Ew, mommy, what
because you imagine someone pukes, whatever, but someone on a stage where there's a crowd watching, and a live puking goes on. And he was visibly upset at after he did. He was very mad, and the place was just silent. He walked down. They had to come out and pull the mats out and stuff, Yeah.
Oh.
So it was just bizarre. That was the first match.
Oh, and that's just the first match, everyone.
That was the first 2 things that happened on the show. I was what is this? And in another match, a guy got injured.
Ooh.
And it was pretty terrible. And his opponent actually broke character and ran over to him, and they were trying to help him. And he was laying on the floor for 20 minutes. I hope the guy's all right. But that was another thing that happened.
Man, everything.
And it just continued from there. It was just bizarre.
How many
and
more matches?
Right after the match where the guy got legit injured, right, and they had to have EMTs come out and stuff, right?
Yeah.
They had this hardcore match, which was stupid because in wrestling there's these hardcore matches, right?
Yes.
And usually when guys have a storyline and it gets to the point where they just hate each other so much, the only way to end this feud is some sort of no holds barred match, right? Anything's legal because the storyline's written in a way that has to be the answer to finally who's the winner here.
Yes.
But it was 2 guys that no one really knew. No one knew who the hell they were. And they're going out there, they're bleeding, they're hitting each other with stuff. They used fire. They barbed wire. They had tables, but they were it wasn't even a wooden table. It was a plastic table that didn't break. Oh. And people were the crowd really turned on it because we're why are you killing that guy? Who are you? So the crowd really turned on that. And it was just a very odd show. And there was a couple other things. I don't want to get too deep into it. But.
I mean, so it's basically you go there and you see 2 people you've never heard of attacking each other with barbed wire and nail bats and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, maybe if they had like been yelling at each other since the beginning, like just interrupting stuff and just to complain about the other guy.
Yeah, you need a little setup for that. It's like why if people are even mocking it. Like why are you doing that to him? Yeah, it's funny, but it was very odd. I did have fun though. I got to meet a lot of guys like Cole Cabana. Talked to him for a while, and
Nice.
Sammy Callahan and Jay Lethal. And Jay Lethal's a really, really talented guy. And what he did, because Sid wasn't there, he came out as Sid. Like he came out and he did Sid's entire thing. That was very funny. Abdul the Butcher was there, so you should have came, man. It was pretty wild.
I didn't even. Well, Friday. What was I doing Friday?
I don't know, but I would say if there's ever a show like that in your area, I recommend you go, even if you're not a wrestling fan. It's a good night of wacky fun. I always say. So.
I had fun when we went with you. Remember they were throwing nachos onto the table. The
stage?
You
never know what's gonna happen, man.
Yeah, dude. Let me know next time in advance. That might be pretty fun.
And it's always fun for me to interact with the wrestlers. You don't really get to do that at the the big companies. You can't really do that, but you go to these shows. These guys are standing right there, and you just go up and talk to them, and it's like, oh hey, Cole Cabana, and you talk for a while, and he does a podcast. So I was talking to him a little bit about that and stuff, and I was like, I do a little show, and that was cool. So
sweet deal.
Right on. So
glad you had fun.
I got nothing else, man.
All right, well, I got to announce something here.
Okay.
Now, I got something here people have been waiting for a very long time.
Yeah.
Everybody who likes adventures and clicking and RPGs will be very ecstatic to know that, yes, finally, Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition has been announced.
What's that for?
That's right. For the
it's a computer game?
One of the best role-playing games ever made. There was a countdown on their website. It ran out today. They are enhancing Baldur's Gate 1 and Baldur's Gate 2.
Wow.
Redoing the engine, getting some of the original developers, and getting some new artists and a good team of people. That's right. Oh, also, Diablo 3 is coming out May 15th.
Is that real, or are they just going to keep pushing it?
Nope. They're both real.
Cool.
Very much.
How about Last Guardian? Got a date on that?
I'm sorry. I got nothing for you on that one, buddy. But
okay.
I actually just bought Baldur's Gate again, like a few months ago, for like $5 for the PC.
I played the PS2 version.
That's Dark Alliance, man.
Is that different?
Oh, it's way different.
It's awful?
This is actual, like, what I think this Baldur's Gate for the PC is actual, like, it uses, I think, 2nd edition D&D rules. And then you can get a patch to make it kind of 3rd, 3.5-ish or whatever. But it's using actual
This is something to do with D&D?
It's a role-playing game, dude.
Boy. All right.
It's a role-playing game, dude. You know what? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, fine. Diablo 3. Would you prefer to talk about that?
I never really played those games. I was never a big PC guy. I was always a console warrior.
Well, your computer can run it now, buddy.
Well, yeah, my computer now, but I still don't play games on it. It's just how I was. It's how I was raised, you know.
Well, you could use a little Diablo 3 if you like clicking 2 buttons.
It's just how I was reared, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if you like clicking repeatedly a lot and occasionally hitting the keyboard, this game is for you.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe get me into it. Maybe we'll see what happens.
Awesome.
You know what's going to happen? We're going to want videos now of you playing this.
Playing Diablo 3? Dude, I'm just going to be wandering around town like, can I click that? No. Can I click that? No. Then I go into the dungeon and die. Or I get cursed out by some dude in multiplayer.
All right.
Yeah.
Ready for comments?
All right, let's do this.
Excellent.
All right, our first comment comes from Redneck Common Potato. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to stay pulpy.
I'm glad that you understood what that was.
Dude,
that's the Michael Buffer, Let's Get Ready to Rumble type of thing.
Yeah, man, I know Let's Get Ready to Rumble. I know that you're not allowed to say that because he's going to like totally get on your case about it.
Oh, yeah, what happened with that? He wanted to trademark it or something?
Something like that, yeah. I don't remember how that worked out for him, though.
I haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah,
it's all about his brother, Bruce, is like the cunt took over.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, I don't know. What happened to Michael?
Well, I hope he's all right.
He was in he was in WCW at the end of that company, and he would like always mess up the wrestlers' names and stuff.
Oh,
he would say all this ridiculous stuff
on purpose.
I don't know I don't think he knew much about what he was doing. I mean, over there,
you gotta research the names.
It was just very bizarre. He'd be like wearing like wearing black with silver trim, the master of the diamond cutter. It's like, what?
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow. Poor guy just faded out.
Yeah, that was like a big deal then. When that phrase was like a big thing at one point.
Yeah, I remember that. Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember. Like, there have been a lot of jokes. Like if he were a priest, what would he say? Let's get ready to humble.
Yeah, there was all kinds of parodies of it too.
Yeah. I think some stand-up comics did that. I don't think it was Paul and Storm, but somebody did.
Things have gotten a lot better since those days, I think.
Yeah. All right, so our
catchphrases are better than that. Come on, man.
What, stay ballsy? That's awesome.
All the catchphrases, digital gonorrhea.
That's when you certainly don't see
players. They're all great.
It's amazing. I mean, we got a whole hive mind, not a hive mind, but a whole group of talented people, creative people coming up with stuff like this.
Yes.
Speaking of our creative friends, we have a comment here from our friend HonoredVillager. Couldn't access my account for years due to a bug till recently, where I discovered I could delete and create a new one. Now I can show my appreciation by subscribing. Finally. I've been a follower of the show and many other playlists, especially your songs. Love the work, helps me complete college work, and is just as amazingly ballsy. I've been spreading the digital gonorrhea as much as I can. Keep up the amazing work. Love you, John and OJ. I wish you guys further success. Your fellow Ramborgian.
It's very cool that his username has Ramborgia in it. I haven't actually seen someone do that before, so that's pretty
thank you, dude.
Sweet.
That's
yes, thank
awesome.
you, sir.
Like, just you comment anywhere and people will be like, Ramborgia, what's that? And they're going to look for it. And they're going to find it.
And he's not just a Ramborgian, he's a noble one.
Exactly. So he's up there. He's got the right set of attitude for
A couple of people told me they saw that preview for the documentary about the Borgia or a movie about the Borgia.
Oh yeah.
Remember you were telling me about that and I yelled at you?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, a couple of people saw me mention on Twitter that like, oh, I was in the theater and that came out, the trailer came out for that or whatever.
Oh, well, look at that.
Yeah.
All right, so got a comment here from Dude Guy 1354. Oh man, this is like Gollum. Hey, Johns's. I have some ideas for the new.
With the Gollum voice.
Oh, Johns's.
All right, stop.
I have some ideas for the new holidays. The 4th of John Lee.
John Lai.
John Lai. Oh, if it was Y, I would have said John Lai. But
yeah.
Okay, the 4th of John Lai. You want to say that one?
Shitmas.
And Balloween. John, I love being part of the Ramborgia, and I'm a proud member. But I got a problem. I work at my school newspaper, and I'm not allowed to write about YouTube. So what I want to do is pretend you guys are a novel, and each show is a chapter, which is true if you think about it. Well, one thing I'd like to say, they said you can't write about YouTube, but we do have a website with the podcast on it, so technically that's not YouTube, right?
Writing about the website?
Well, no, the podcasts are on there.
That's true. You know what? I'll say this. If this is something that's allowed or something that you even want to do, or if it's possible in any way, I would love to be interviewed for your school newspaper, and then we could show scans of it on the show.
Oh, that would be amazing.
So if that's something that's possible, please let me know if that's could be done. That'd be pretty crazy.
Yeah, dude.
That'd be a great honor for me to be in a school, like some school's newspaper. That'd make my day. So send me a message.
I would buy that newspaper.
I don't think the school newspapers, cost anything, but maybe they'll charge you.
It's free.
If they find out you want it, they'll charge you maybe.
Yeah. All right. So this next comment is from JoM12345569. Gotta catch it all, gonorrhea. I hope he means digital.
I have traveled across the land, spreading
far and wide,
spreading the disease far and wide. Each Ramborgia must understand the power that's inside.
Gonorrhea.
OJ,
Hearts.
It's you and me. This is our destiny. OJ, you're my best friend in a world something
upon which you can depend.
Well, that's not really true, but
what?
Even if you wear Depends.
Wait, what?
OJ,
You can't depend on me.
All right.
Whoa. Halt the show right here, dude. What? No, you got some dirty laundry to clear up. Let me know. I'm pretty sure
Take a year of the show, then I'll change my mind.
Excuse me?
I said if we get through a year of the show, then I will go back on what I said.
All right. You hear that, everybody? We get through a year. John will admit that he can depend on me.
I'll publicly admit that OJ is dependable.
We get through a year of the show. Rambo will admit, I'm typing this, that
Where are you typing this?
I am into Notepad so I can save it for later.
It's saved in a cloud.
No, but I'll probably tweet it
forever.
I'm going to tweet it when this episode's over.
Okay.
Okay. Now, Hamster Boy has posted a lovely question, which I believe Flatwanitzcoatl or someone else also posted about.
Yeah.
So, do I really want to say this?
Well, read the English part first.
Please answer my intelligent and thought-provoking question on the next show.
And what language is this written in?
Japanese.
Okay.
You really want me to say this? All right.
I don't know. What is it? I don't know. How do I know?
All right.
I have no idea.
Maybe I'll switch one of the words for a less bad word.
All right, go ahead.
Nah, forget it. Is
it insulting to me?
Wait, did he forget? Okay, yeah, he did say it. He's saying, hey, you guys, do you eat cat poo? Why? Or, no, I think that's will you eat cat poo?
Would you like to try it?
It's the present tense of the verb, which I think means will you. Or maybe have you, but have you, there's a specific phrase for it.
Put it in the Google Translate or no?
I'll put it into Google Translate. I think it's probably have you eaten cat poo.
Maybe saying he enjoys it. Would you like some too? My answer is no.
There's a reason why I'm OJ and not Scatman John.
Okay, let's just continue.
No, I'm translating. You told me to do it.
Okay.
You can depend on me, sir. Oh, you guys eat cat poo. Why? Okay. Yeah, I was close.
Why do we eat cat poo?
Yeah.
This is an insulting comment.
You think?
The Ramborgia will turn on you, sir.
Oh, gosh. Well, since you're a
the Ramborgia will find you, and they will force you to eat cat poo.
Okay, no, that's...
Not only the poo of cats, but the poo of all types of mammals. Sir, you will accept it into your mouth.
Ugh.
Into all of your orifices.
Okay, so I think we should have moved on when we had the chance.
Just joking.
Hey,
Thank you for your comment, sir.
Thank you for commenting. Yes.
Yes, thank you for your comment.
So here's one from Mark 2-Bit. It's been almost 2 years since I got my bachelor's. I finally got myself a job worth having in this zicky economy, and I don't think I would have been able to get through it if I didn't stay ballsy.
Go with the next one, too. It kind of goes hand in hand.
This one's from Lucky Charm Gang 7A. I just want to say thanks to John and OJ, and even OJ. The stay ballsy mentality is really great. Before the show existed, I would get turned down on all job interviews, but once I took the stay ballsy approach, I aced the interview and got the job.
That is correct. Stay ballsy is not just a catchphrase. It is a lifestyle.
Way of life.
It is a way of life now. It's about believing in oneself, putting yourself out there and accomplishing whatever it is you want to accomplish. If you like it and you want it, go out and get it and take it.
Do it.
Stay ballsy.
You can do it.
That's cool. I hope that these guys are, it's great that they're accomplishing things with this mentality.
Yeah, we wish you guys as much success as is humanly possible.
Right. Very, very happy for you both.
Congratulations. So, here's one from Oxaput. Hey guys, my sister just went through surgery, and I just asked for the Ramborgia to wish her well. Hashtag Ramborgia strong. All the best to your sister. I hope she recovers swiftly and is back on her feet and is A-okay very soon. I hope you guys and your family, you're all doing all right.
Yep, all the best to your sister, and the Ramborgia are behind you, sir.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, as long as we're in a bit of a somber state, here's our
Please let us know if there's anything we can do to help you out.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely let us know if anything we can do for you.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I just wish the best for your sister, man. It's just a sad thought, you know? I got a sister, too. I'd be feeling, you know, I'd want to get some people behind me if I were in the same situation. So be strong, sir. And your sister, strong as well. Okay, so our next comment is also a bit somber. My name is Travis, and I've actually been having sleeping problems for the past year and a half to the point where I wake regularly, wake up at night, and have several days a week, 24 hours, noon to noon, hoping that would help set me back to normal. I haven't gone outside in about 6 months, and it's been really taking a toll on my health. $20 solar flares make it even worse. And I've not been getting any support from my Bible Christian father or my literally retarded mother about it, who thinks I should just wait till I get better. Saved about $500 for my last job, and I've been talking with some of my friends about whether or not I should move out. I honestly don't think I'm prepared for that, but I know that despite how much my parents bribe me to think otherwise, the situation is meditate is very bad for me, that leaving is a necessity. Do you have any suggestions about what could help me get myself back in order, or could help me stay positive while I do?
All right. As far as the sleep problems go, you might want to see a doctor.
Yes.
I'm not saying, like, go get a bunch of sleep meds or go on a bunch of sleep meds, because that's usually not the answer. But, you know, first you want to make sure there isn't something like else wrong with you, you know, physically.
Yeah.
Right? And based on what you've written here, it's quite possible that your sleep problems are due to stress.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't sound too happy there. So if you have complicated problems in life, I think the thing to do is to break them down and turn them into simple questions, put them in the simplest possible terms. You know, ask yourself basic questions. And I think the most basic question here is, do you want things to change? Right? If the answer is yes to that, then you must absolutely change them. And, you know, it's easier said than done. And you hear people say it all the time, you know, I'm changed, I'm a new man. I'll never smoke again, right?
Yeah.
But change doesn't really happen overnight. And people that act like that, like all of a sudden, I'm a new person, right? Tomorrow I'm changing. They usually get overwhelmed and most times revert back to the negative behavior in the first place, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the trick is to change, but do it smart and slowly over time and build towards something. You know, where do you want to be? What do you want to accomplish? You're the only one that can answer that question. But for example, if your goal is to move out, figure out what you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
How much money do you need to do this? And if you don't have the money, you know, how can you get it? Right? So it's just tackling a simple question at a time, each question at a time, right?
Yeah, you have to figure out what you need to do, and then just take care of each one. You know, isolate each one that you need to fix, and you know, do that one first, and then move on to the next one, and then it won't be as daunting because sweet, I solved this problem. Sweet, I solved this little problem. Sweet, I solved this little. You keep doing that, eventually you're going to run out of the big problems. You're going to take out a big problem.
Right. If you stare at like you stared at it all at once, it looks like a giant heap of garbage. You know.
Yeah.
If you take it piece by piece and take care of it, you know, it'll clean it up quicker. But if you can see the goal at the end of the tunnel, then you can get there. You know, if you can see it, you can find it. And the stuff with your parents, I hate to put it like this, but if they really are holding you back or making you feel negative things, then F them, you know? That goes for any negativity in your life. You got to climb over the obstacles and do what you have to do to avoid that stuff. You know, taking time to be angry, taking time out of what you're trying to accomplish to be angry with your parents or anyone else or anything else slows you down from reaching your goal. So you got to figure out what you want, figure out how to accomplish it, have faith in yourself that you can do it, and ignore the negative garbage, and keep us posted on how things are going.
Yeah. Also, just take every now and then, just take a moment to just to pause and reflect and look back and like, wow, I've gotten this done, and I've gotten this done. I've got even if it's just one thing, hey, I've gotten this done. But eventually, you know, you'll be able to see, wow, I've really gotten a lot of things. You know, I've taken care of a lot of these things. And
so much of life is knowing where you want to be, planning it, and then having patience and putting in the work to get there. It's really what like everything comes down to, really.
Yeah.
You know.
And again, and then the key thing, don't stress out. Everything is better when you take it calmly, man.
That's true.
There's nothing you can't surmount.
I think the best way to know, I was thinking about this, like, the best way to know if your life is going well is when you first wake up in the morning, like, what goes through your head as soon as you wake up, right? Like, are you excited about the day ahead of you? Are you looking forward to it? Like, you're like, oh, I'm awake, this is awesome, I can't wait, I'm doing all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Or are you, like, when you wake up, are you dreading the day, and would you rather stay in bed and then do whatever it is you're supposed to be doing? So if it's the latter, then you might want to, try to fix some things. And I've experienced both. And when you wake up and you're feeling good and you're glad you did, that's one of the best things in life right there. And there's no amount of cash that can buy that feeling for you.
No.
To kind of create it. And I bet there's people that are insanely wealthy that wake up and they're not too happy in the morning. So I don't know.
Yeah, one other thing I would say about the sleep thing, if you're waking up a lot during the night, I know it's just a complete shot in the dark, but I mean, if you wake up like not choking, but like coughing or something, maybe you want to see if it's sleep apnea, because I've known a bunch of people who've had that, where basically while they're sleeping, they're laying down on their backs or something, and they kind of choke themselves somehow a little bit, so they wake up coughing, like, or they wake up
Right.
like, oh gosh, I'm not, like, so they can't get a good night's sleep. There's actually a machine that can help with that. Like, it's a little mask you put over your face and turn it on, and it keeps that from happening.
It might just, like you said, it might just be stress related.
Yeah.
But it's good to go and see where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
Good if you're perfectly healthy, then that's good. That's something to build off of. And
Yeah. I just say because that
wish you
machine's
luck,
not
sir.
a drug. So we wish you the best of luck. And please, let us know how you're doing. I mean, make some goals, make some progress. Let us know how you're doing on them. I mean, I think that will help a lot. If you can say, like, yeah, I got this done,
progress reports.
yeah, we're here to support you on this.
And you gotta remember, you're not alone. Everyone goes through terrible times, and if they tell you that they didn't, then they're liars. It's part of life. So, all right. I think that'll do it for the first part of the show today. It's time to move on to our guest for the week, or multiple guests actually.
Yeah.
All right, so stay tuned. Welcome back to the show. Our guests this week can be found at youtube.com/LSDraw, which stands for Love, Sex, and Dating, which are the topics they just so happen to specialize in, giving you relationship help and advice with no BS. Welcome to the show, Greg and Emily.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How's it going, guys? How are you doing today?
Pretty
Good.
good. It's a little cold today, but it was all right.
Where are you guys
Oh.
at? Where are you?
I live in New York City.
Oh, okay. We're close to us.
And I'm in Chicago.
Chicago's a great place. I've visited there many times.
Yeah, it's nice. It hit
You're like-
88 degrees today.
Yeah.
Oh man. No, that's too warm. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I mean, this is our last year, so we have
Right.
a Mayan calendar.
Oh.
So everything's going a little crazy.
Just gotta take every day at a time, enjoy it. So I didn't know you were in New York. We'll have to meet up sometime or something. That's pretty cool.
Of course.
So very glad to have you guys on the show. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having
first-
us.
So the first thing I want to ask you, how'd you get started down this road of love, sex, and dating advice? How did this all begin?
Well, it started with me, really, because I'm very interested in the whole topic of dating, social dynamics, how people interact with each other. And I think it started for me with there was a book I read. You ever heard of The Game?
Yeah.
By Neil Strauss?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I haven't read it though.
It was a pretty good book, even though a lot of the stuff was a little too much for my taste. But that's when I started to really get interested in the whole idea of looking into dating and actually pursuing a little bit more of it as a hobby.
I was hoping you were going to say you were on some kind of crazy, terrible date, and that inspired you to help other people or something. like that.
I never had like a really like that type of a heartbreak or anything like that. So
He's actually given a bad date. He's been the
He
doer.
gives bad. Oh, really? He's the cause of the bad dates.
Yeah.
I was a little, I wasn't as inept as I wasn't as on point as I am now.
But it was
that's how
pretty
we
bad.
learn, I guess.
Definitely
That's how we
turning
learn.
point.
Right. So, when people ask you guys for advice, do you ever have very different or clashing opinions from each other?
I think we do for sure.
I think that's really, I agree, but I think it's also more because I think we're different genders.
So that's a big part, huh?
Mm-hmm. And I think even when one person's right and the other person doesn't agree, there's never really like any type of a resolution. It's always going to be butting heads. Even if one person's right, even if the other person's wrong.
I
Sometimes
just feel like when it's men coming for advice, like it's always you want to listen to the woman a little bit more just because she knows what a lot of women are looking for. Because I feel like men are all kind of stuck in their own minds.
Okay.
Or you listen to a woman's opinion, it kind of broadens things for you.
So you'd say that men and women kind of approach dating differently. You would
For
say.
sure.
Yes.
For sure.
I would agree. There's a right way and there's the wrong way, which is the woman way.
Wow.
I can see.
This is even fair.
We're learning things already.
I can see the butting heads already.
So why don't you take us through like an actual date? What are some of the worst things you could do on a date, and then what are some of the best things you can do? And then our viewers will decide which ones they want to follow.
I should probably be taking notes here.
I want to start off since technology is becoming such a big thing. It's like people feel so withdrawn without their cell phones. Is on dates, people tend. Maybe they don't even realize it, but they're texting on their dates, they're checking in, they're doing their Facebook, Twitter. It's kind of like when you're on a date, just leave your phone in your pocket. If it's an emergency, you'll feel your phone vibrating a bunch of times. But it's just like, leave the cell phones. You're not going to die without Facebook or Twitter for that hour or two that you're on a date.
I don't think that's fair because you got to remember, we're paying a lot of money for these cell phones. Our bills
got to use them.
And sometimes there's lows in conversation. Let's say if you're waiting in line with somebody, you don't necessarily always have to just be blabbering your mouth. There are moments where you can check things because they're like pauses or moments when you're waiting online, or let's say you go off to get, if you're at a bar, if you go off to get the drink for the lady, those are your moments where you can take away to look at your stuff. Now when you're sitting down having dinner, that's not a good idea.
But I feel like even if you're in line, you can engage her in a conversation. You just don't say, okay, we're in line. Let's check our phones now.
So you're telling me you never check your phones at all? You never check your phone?
No, I don't.
Come on.
So this is the headbutting that you brought up before, I guess.
But it's like, I'm a woman, and this is one of my biggest pet peeves, and I'm sure a ton of other women have the same pet peeve. So just trust me on this.
You want to have your attention should be paid to the person you're with. I understand.
Okay, now it sounds like the girl's being needy, but it's not. It's not the whole like pay attention.
This is tough, man. Dating's hard. Jeez.
I got a question. What if you're texting the girl? Then you're still communicating. What about
Why
that?
Why do you text the person you're with? What are you doing on dates, John?
It's a joke. Gosh.
But I mean I would say that's kind of cute, like a playful little text in like the movies or something.
Okay, yeah, and you get out of the movie to see it. Somebody sent me the text who was always you. That's nice.
Yeah, or like something cheesy. I don't know, but obviously not the whole day. Don't like text her. Like one text during like a movie or something.
I feel like that's more like for like when you're married and you guys are not talking as much anymore. It's like now you're sitting next to on the couch.
Oh boy. So what are some good things you could do on a date? You want a date? What are some really good things that you could do?
Definitely, I would say listen. Learn to also throw back some conversation. Learn how to ask questions, but yet also answer some of these questions. Respond to certain things. Don't just do an interview. Keep your hands to yourself.
Okay.
Unless
for how long?
requested.
Keep your hands to yourself the whole time?
Definitely the first 10 minutes, don't touch her.
Okay. There's a 10-minute window there where you can't do anything.
Wait
I'd say a little more than the first 10 minutes. Let's try to get halfway through the date without grabbing something.
Oh, man.
I mean, as long as it's not inappropriate touching, like as long as you're not going for any of the goodies.
Let's save those for later.
So, oh, hey, you made it. High five.
See, high fives are good. You just need the person to actually respond back to that. You don't be left hanging.
As long as they're slapping your hand, not your face.
Yeah.
All right, so in 2012, we see a lot of relationships don't really seem to go very far and very long anymore. You see a lot of divorce. If people even get married. So, what do you think are some of the hurdles for relationships in 2012? What's that all about?
You want to take that, Emily?
Okay, me being a woman, I just feel like people don't do the love thing anymore. Like, there's no more like falling in love. There's no more, romance. There's no chivalry. There's nothing. And I feel like a lot of women are kind of settling with it. And so it's like, why stay with the person? Why, commit to marriage? Why? It's not worth it. Or if, you're kind of getting it from somewhere else, and it's a sad thing. Like, for me as a woman, like, it's like, oh, everyone's getting divorced.
Yeah.
But I think,
Greg, what do you have to say about this?
I think a lot of that has to do with a lot of people are just hooking up. There's not really a foundation. A lot of people are just getting together, settling, or just, for whatever reason, just picking somebody, and they're not willing to work on it anymore. They're not willing to put in the effort. Because after, let's say, 4, 5, 6 months, for however long, people tend to get lazy. And I think that's like the biggest issue. With the time we have now, where there's so many distractions, so many different things that could just throw us off our game or preoccupy us, we definitely have to make that commitment again and going on dates. Like Emily says, romance. Actually saying nice things. Saying nice things is a good thing.
The women love when men say nice things.
I did not know that.
Compliments go a long way, I promise you. Even like the smallest, even like a text in the morning that says good morning. Women love that stuff.
So a little bit of effort goes a long way, I think, sometimes.
For sure, yeah, especially these days.
And also, less nagging from the women, please.
Well, I agree with that one.
Because the nagging, I don't know if it's been worse now because of everybody feels more empowered. But the nagging's really bad, and I think that's another thing, just browbeating a man, or when a man just puts down a woman, just that whole idea of being emotional bullies or saying bad things to each other.
Yeah, I agree with your points.
All right, so last week we had asked our lovely Ramborgia audience to submit their own questions about love, sex, dating. So if you guys don't mind, we'd like to throw some of those questions your way right now.
Sure.
OJ, take it away, sir.
All right. Here's our first question. The situation is, I'm an almost 20-year-old male and never had one date in my life. Not to mention, I don't have a lot of friends and lose my friends quick due to lack of communication. No cell phone, job, and no driver's license. Every time I go up to someone, even with the intention of just making a friend, my heart beats fast and I become shy. My mentality makes me think I'm going to say the wrong words, and thus I eventually walk away. I'm losing hope and starting to think that I'm going to grow old and die alone. Probably better off alone. How or what could I do to turn my life around?
I mean, I would say he would have to change his perspective a little more. Think more positively. When you think negatively, you tend to have negative things happen to you. And
I agree.
All right, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, maybe he should start with him, like Greg said, positive thoughts. Start with yourself. Maybe get like a part-time job and get one of the like pay-as-you-go phones just to help you out a little bit. If that gives you a little bit more confidence, start there. Like, and it's hard just to say, have confidence, but just have confidence.
Yeah. You definitely can't be afraid to fail. I mean, there's no reason to. And if you fail, you're just back where you started off. So.
Yes, you don't lose anything.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with failing. You just try again.
All he has to do is just start with a hi. How are you? Hello. Now, I don't know if he lives in a small town or a big city or a big college town, but it's always good to just interact with everybody with a hello, how are you?
Yeah, and
How's your
especially
day?
like the whole part of like keeping in touch. If it's a smaller town, I guess, usually a lot of the people hang out in the same places. So I mean, that's how you can keep your communication. You keep going to the same places, seeing the same faces, and builds friendships with them.
And I mean, and definitely you can also try, if that's too much for you, think in terms of what do you like to do and try to find like-minded people and then connect that way. And then work your way beyond that, expand your horizons a little more after that. But you're going to start small.
Very good. Johnny, take it
All
away.
right.
Keep going. Keep the ball rolling here, buddy. Come on.
All right. Our next question. I am now a junior in high school, and I've never had a girlfriend before. I was wondering, why don't girls pay attention to me? I consider myself to be average looking, and girls don't seem to like or dislike me. So what do I do?
Do you want to start this one off again, Greg?
Well, yeah, I think my thing is with him, he automatically kind of just, he doesn't seem insecure. He knows pretty much what he's about. But I think my problem with him is, how does he know that someone likes him or dislikes him when he hasn't even talked to these people or haven't even tried to make
Gotta
that
find
first
out.
step?
Yeah, it's kind of like the same thing with the first guy. Like, you're not going to know unless you try. Like, getting rejected sucks, but you kind of have to get rejected. It happens to everyone. You just have to put yourself out there.
And I think just being him a junior in high school, he has the ability to just be social with people in high school where he can just find a few female friends, not, a few females from the school, not necessarily friends that, you don't want to be the creepy guy hitting on all the friends.
Right.
But definitely, if there's other girls you find attractive in the school, just approach them. Say hi. If they're in your class, mention the class to them. Just have a conversation that revolves around school and then try to, build out from that.
He said in his question, he said, I was wondering why don't girls pay attention to me? Do you think he has to go out there and make them pay attention to him and make them take notice? Here I am.
I think so. Maybe he's sort of just like, yeah. I mean, it sounds like he's sort of just like disappearing in the back of the class, or, maybe speak more in class, or, I'm not saying go out there and dye your hair pink and, do all that stuff to get noticed, but speak up a little bit more, make your presence known.
I mean, I think what he wants really is, he really wants women to pretty much tell him, oh, I like you, and I'm going to approach you. But women usually don't do the approach, so you're not really going to see.
Unless you're like really got a lot of money or something.
Yeah. But if you're a normal guy, girls are not going to approach you usually.
Right. There's a lot of normal guys out there.
Well, not to mention, it's junior high. Everyone's insecure in junior high, so they might be thinking the same exact thing that you are. So they might be too shy to come up and talk to you or something. So, yeah, I'd follow their advice.
You have to take the first step and just say hi. Take it from there.
All right. So, before I get yelled at, our next question. I'm now in college, and I don't know how to go about approaching a situation because in my mind, I feel like being straightforward, but with the way the internet affects things, it seems that I have to approach someone with, hey, blah, 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 what's your Facebook? So, back to my question. Do you think that the internet is having a negative effect on beginning relationships with someone in person? And how should I go about getting into a relationship without needing to include internet right away? I've got no problem with Facebook. I just feel that shouldn't be the first place to take a relationship you want to be serious.
I mean, I don't think it's like it's not like the worst thing in the world. The internet's definitely more impersonal, and definitely it does take the courtship a little longer now because now the girl has to vet you through social media and then through texting, and then finally you can get the date if you're gonna get the date.
Wow.
But I don't think it's that bad. I just
Plus, you get to check up on people, make sure they're not into any kind of crazy stuff. You can find their Facebook or
I feel like maybe Facebook or the internet or social media does have like a negative effect on dating, especially if you start talking to this person, you say, give me your Facebook. Now this person is in your Facebook, looking at all your pictures, looking at, comments you posted, and that can raise questions, just like, oh, so who's this girl or who's this? And it's kind of like, let's just do this without Facebook, and then when I get to know you a little more, because Facebook can be personal. People put up pictures of their family, of, things that they wouldn't usually share at first day of meeting someone. I think it's definitely having a negative toll on relationships, and I feel you should keep it out of, getting to know someone as much as possible until, a little bit later.
But you have to realize, in regards to what, and giving him advice, I would just tell him just to go for the number, ask for the number, and if the girl counters with the Facebook, just accept it and realize, this is a game of numbers in terms of, quantity. And that if you don't get to, if Facebook is not what you want to deal with, then don't deal with it, but realize there's going to be some girls who only want to deal with Facebook, and you can kind of keep them on the back burner. You don't have to make them into a priority. But you can still have them just in case. Cause you never know if you're going to get dates out of phone numbers or if you're going to get a date out of Facebook.
Right.
Just add it all to your whole mixture.
Do you think that especially young people aren't developing like the same social skills in person with people because of the internet? They're just so used to just communicating like that they can't, like they haven't developed how to do it other than that.
I agree with you in terms of person to person, that socially everything is different. But then yet again, we still are communicating, we still are connecting, but not just face to face all the time. A lot of it now is digitally or through the internet or whatever you post on YouTube, on your Facebook, through Twitter. So you're still getting some level of communication, and you're building out some social skills, but it's not usually I'm sorry about that. You know what I'm trying to say, Emily?
Not really. But I'm going to go ahead and add my own point, where it's like, yeah, I do feel like now people don't know how to communicate in person, because just having a conversation with, say, like a little cousin who's like 14, you can't have a conversation without them saying IDK or STFU, or it's like, can we just speak? Can we speak?
Watch your language here on the show, Emily. Come on.
Sorry.
Come on, baby.
Raffle.
I feel like people are losing their conversational skills. There's no more, in-depth conversations. It's a lot of, I feel like the only word that's coming to my head right now are like airhead conversations, if that sounds really bad. Or it's like, there's no more conversation. Everything's letters now.
No substance to it.
Yeah.
Sad.
It's interesting because I think a lot of the online social media stuff could really help you get together and meet people in the real world. The way it's designed, it helps you like figure out where people are and you can go meet them and talk to them. But in a lot of cases, it's kind of like replacing actually talking to people in real life.
Yeah, I definitely feel like people get they get really comfortable on Facebook, and they sort of, create a home in Facebook where that's where they do all their communicating. If there's, you want to listen to music, you're posting it on Facebook, or if you want to, say hi to someone, it's on Facebook. Everything is done through Facebook now. Nothing is personal anymore. It's like, yeah, you'd like to think that, hey, I'm here and now someone come meet me, but, people get really comfortable on Facebook and they just live through Facebook.
But wouldn't you think that you still communicate, let's just say your core group of friends, you still communicate with them? You just now have all these extra people that maybe they're not someone you communicate with on a daily basis, or even if there wasn't any social media like Facebook or Twitter, you probably wouldn't even talk to those people as much. And you're still not talking to them as much now, but you're still talking to your core friends, the people you know, your family. You're still talking to them. So I don't think the communications have changed in terms of the people you know.
That's true. So we gotta make sure the machines don't get too powerful, because we're gonna have Terminator 2 on our hands all over again. So we don't want that.
Skynet has requested a friend request.
Yes.
All right. No.
Can you be friends with somebody super smarter than you? Like robot? I don't know. They're gonna know everything, all the answers, all the. Will we have to dumb down robots for us?
Probably to have a decent conversation with them.
I mean, I feel like that's the way it's going to be. Make them stupid a little bit in the beginning.
Oh,
Make the
gosh.
robots stupid on purpose.
You have to. You don't want to communicate with someone who's totally out there.
That's true.
Oh, man.
You're lying.
Well,
My ego's fragile. I can't have something smarter than me. It's not happening.
that's why I'm on the show.
All right, Johnny, keep it going here.
All right. Our next question is a two-parter. I will say both parts. How to let a guy know you're interested in them as more of a friend if you are shy? And the second part is signs he's into you.
I say tell him he's cute. That's the good first step. I mean, that's the only really... Because with the second part of that question, honestly, a lot of guys are not going to recognize the different little signs unless you're going to be upfront and straightforward.
I feel like as a woman, like you see the signs, you're going to get more of his attention. You're going to get like daily attention from this guy. There's going to be, some touching, even if it's just like the shoulder, the back, the lower back, there's going to be some kind of physical touch between him and you, and it's going to be him doing the touching. And I feel like if you want to tell him, you see him as more than just a friend. Greg said tell him he's cute. I say ask him out. Be ballsy and ask him out and just say...
Be ballsy.
Oh, yeah.
And just tell him, let's go out, but not as friends. Let's go on a date and see what he says. I mean, again, if rejection happens, it happens, but you know that you did it and you tried, and that's all you can do.
I agree. Home run.
Score.
Wow.
Do you think it's harder for girls because usually it's people expect the guy to be the one to make the move and stuff like that? Should girls be the one to make a move if the guy's not doing it?
I think girls should start making more moves for sure. Yeah.
It's definitely different, but if you're interested, just start with a hi and then take it from there.
Because I know how girls are. You're gonna not make the move, and then you're gonna regret it later. Like, oh, he was so cute. I should have said something.
You can't wait for these stupid men to do anything. You gotta do it yourself.
Aw. Okay, so here's the next question. We're going into a little different area here. I think we're moving out of the D and maybe into the S here.
Yes.
What is the kinkiest type of sex that my girlfriend and I can try that will revitalize our sex life?
Wow. Got a great audience out there.
I mean, first of all, he has to have a conversation with her because I'm not sure if he's actually, I don't know if is it a he, right?
Yeah, well, he says my girlfriend. So
Well, I mean, they could be two girls.
Could go
but-
either way. I don't know.
Either way.
Whoever sent the questions to just have a conversation with her. I feel like there could be a chance where it's something that he wants to do, and he doesn't want to do anything crazy to her without actually having a conversation with her first. He might just scare her off.
Is that really the answer? Kinky sex to revitalize their sex life? You're saying which type of kinky sex should we have? Is that maybe not the answer here?
I feel like it can be the answer.
It could be the answer. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure. Like if they want to make things, if they want to bring things back to life, like it's okay. If you keep doing the same things over and over, it's going to get boring. You're not looking forward to it as much. You already know it's going to happen. It's scripted. Oh, do we have to go through this again? So it's just spice things up. I'd say, if you want to get kinky, take her. Of course, have the talk, and take her to like an adult toy store and pick things out together that you can try together and just make things fun again. That's what I think.
So just don't pull out a riding crop one day like, hey, look what I've got.
Yeah, for sure. Don't do that. Talk to her first, and then together, pick something out that you both agree on.
He has to also decide what's his fantasy, and then when he's talking to her, ask her about her fantasy and kind of see where they want to take it. Because we don't know what he likes exactly. We don't know what's his thing. It could be anything. I mean,
it's all coming down to communication. A lot of these things, right?
He can try a finger in the ass. I mean,
whoa,
that's one. But then again, you don't know if it's something he wants to do. So it's really up to after having.
I'd just like to point out that's the second time I think that's been mentioned on our show. But thank you.
And it's not, before guys get all, well, I'm not into that stuff. It doesn't even have to be inserted. It could just be like a small massage around, like just rubbing around the entrance back there.
All right. Well, I think this guy should try that out and let us know how it goes.
For sure.
I mean, he can also, he can possibly choke her a little bit if you want to add that in there too.
The show will not be held responsible for any thing that may go wrong here.
Strangling.
Put disclaimer out there.
A slight firm hold.
You contact Greg personally if something goes wrong. It's his fault.
That's when start running.
Oh, no. All right.
That's why he has to talk to her. Just have a conversation with her.
Communication.
Okay, so before we go into more choking, so the question is, and is it terrible that I don't even care about the one I love? I'm finding out now that I may be a bit heartless and emotionless. If I could get your thoughts, that would be great.
I feel like if you don't care about someone, then you can't really love them, or...
Stop wasting your time.
Yeah, stop wasting their time.
And yours.
Mostly theirs, just because I feel like this person is leading the other person on.
So there's nothing good about that relationship right there.
Not at all. Get out of there.
Happy. If he's not happy, if he or she is not happy, just leave.
And it's really not fair to the other person.
Right.
But we're not talking about the other person. Let's be selfish.
The other person matters in this equation.
But the other person not answering the question. Damn it.
Oh, gosh. I hope they don't find that question and be like, wait a second, I know who you are.
Is there any circumstance in a relationship where if the people don't love each other and aren't together, is that ever okay in any type of relationship?
No, it's never okay.
It builds resentment and anger and sadness and just settling.
And then that's why people are getting divorced now.
Huh.
Or they're going to Ashley Madison.
But it's definitely never okay to stay in a relationship like that.
Okay.
All right. So our next question. I have never asked a girl out before, even though I'm 16. I never met someone I thought was so perfect before, so I decided to try and ask her out. She said, maybe, and I've been trying to coax her into doing something with me. I made the mistake of telling who I thought was my best friend about my feelings for this girl. The very night that I finally convinced her to do something with me, he, my best friend, asked her out too. She immediately said yes. I have been at a loss for words since Tuesday, the day of this awful incident. I can't determine whether I locked myself into the friend zone due to taking too long, or if she's at fault for this a-hole friend of mine. I appreciate any advice. Sorry for the long message. Stay ballsy, y'all.
Yeah. I would say, basically, his friend's a dick. That was a dick move by his friend. But in terms of the female, I don't think she did anything wrong. I think she should have been a little more straightforward and said, I'm not interested, because she was probably non-confrontational. She didn't want to make him feel bad. But she didn't do anything wrong. She wasn't interested.
And I feel like even at this age, like at 16, maybe you shouldn't be taking things so seriously. Like,
just say that. He broke his heart. His heart is broken.
And I'm sorry. I feel bad. And your friend was a dick for doing what he did, but again, like they're 16, there's some immaturity. There's kind of like, you're going to go through this, and it probably will happen again, and you're going to get screwed over by lots of people.
Well, what should he do next? If he still is interested in this girl, his friend has done this to him, what's his next step?
There's no next step.
It's done.
I mean,
yeah, just kind of move on.
The good thing that he did was he actually approached somebody and told them how he felt. And he could just keep that going with other women. And do less being too overeager about coercing people into doing things. If they're not going to tell you a yes in the beginning or when you first ask, it's pretty much a no.
Okay.
Maybes or a no.
Maybes no, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
That explains a lot.
It's a polite...
Just
what?
kidding. Oy.
What's going on with you?
Nothing.
A few maybes?
No. So anyway, how about that next question? I hear it's awesome.
Let's hear it.
Do you think that any man should tolerate being in a relationship without regular, maybe 2 to 3 times a week, sex? I know some cases where guys wait for months or even years to have sex with their girlfriends, even making 2-week trips alone where nothing happens. I believe this to be bad, sick insanity, and I would never put up with it, no matter how much love was involved. What are your thoughts on this?
I think there's a natural drop-off when you're in a relationship of sex. Now, if it's significant, that's when the trouble starts. But you're not going to be hot and heavy for, as you were in the beginning, a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now. But again, it goes back to communication, talking to them, asking them, is there anything you want me to do for you? Anything in terms of, can I romance you more? Is it foreplay lacking here? Do you want to go on more dates? Because I want to have more sex.
What can I do for more sex? Do I have to give you money?
Without paying for it.
Anything, Emily?
Yeah, a lot of things.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to disagree with Greg a little bit just because I feel like it depends on the person, definitely. I feel like your sex can be the same throughout your whole relationship. Like, obviously not when you're older and retired, but, 2, 3, 4 years down, your sex life should still be fun. It should still be active. And it all depends on the people, like how you keep up with it. Like, if you're going to be lazy about it, then obviously it's not going to work. But I'm sure there's always going to be one person that wants more of it, and it's, up to the partner to be involved and get more of it and give more of it. And this guy, I feel like 2 or 3 times isn't bad, but I feel like you shouldn't be hurt if you only get it once or twice, like once a week.
What's a healthy amount of times a week?
As many times as she can take it.
Okay.
I don't know. It really depends on everybody's.
I'll agree with Greg and say as many times as you guys can go. It's good to go, but just don't let it drop to none.
0 is a bad number.
And again,
0 is a bad number.
If you're not happy, just communicate. Don't be confrontational. Don't start nagging or getting angry about it. Just have a conversation and then take it from there. If the person's not going to change, then you have to move on because you're not compatible sexually.
Right.
Well,
you writing this down, OJ? You learned a lot today.
I've got Notepad open. I'm learning a lot.
All right, excellent.
All right,
I
so
think Greg's turning you into a monster. You're gonna go out tonight and go nuts.
Fist pump tonight. Fist pumping.
Well, anyway, let's take the question from kind of the other direction here. How can I tell a guy that I don't want a relationship to be all just about sex? I love to have sex, so don't get me wrong, but telling a guy that, they tend to take it in a way that they can get it whenever they want.
Emily.
Greg doesn't want to. Greg, what's your answer on this?
I feel like, just hold out. Maybe, because men, when it comes to sex and sex questions and conversations, it's kind of, depending on the guy you're messing with, it'll sort of just be me. And so try to talk to him again, the conversation's talking to me, but if that just doesn't work, just hold out. Make up an excuse. Just, you don't have to do it if you don't want to.
Whoa, okay.
I'll say if you tell someone no once or twice, that, basically that's when you have to drop them. Because someone should be able to respect you in what you're saying. But now if you're being a cock tease, you got to be fair.
I'm not saying, to make them aroused and then say, stop, like, I'm not going any further. Because that's just mean.
Yeah, it's not right.
But,
it's never happened to me.
Talk to him. Let him know that, hey, maybe I just want to go out on a date tonight instead of doing the nasty.
And you got to realize some guys will take what you say with a grain of salt, and they'll keep looking for that sexual loophole to find their way in.
Maybe they got drunk enough.
We don't condone rape here.
Oh, my.
All right, so it's just more communication is the key, it sounds like, a lot of these questions.
For sure. And, hold out to, I'd say if communication didn't work and he's still pushing, hold out. And if that doesn't work, then get rid of him.
All right.
Drop him.
All right. Well, here comes an interesting question. I hate social relationships. What's the best way to procure a bang buddy?
So, from our friend Cyber Demon. Thanks a lot, Cyber Demon.
Are you going to keep saying his name over and over so everyone knows?
Yes.
That was from Cyber Demon?
That was from Cyber Demon, yes.
Cyber Demon, you said?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, it depends what he means by social relationship. Does he mean just the regular courtship of...
It sounds like he just wants to bang. That's what he's saying, and that's what he wants.
No, but what I'm saying is, what is he trying to avoid? Exactly, the whole
Dating.
ship. Because if that's
He doesn't want to date, doesn't want to talk, maybe. He doesn't want to spend money
Let him go.
on dinners.
then he has to go on Ashley Madison, Adult Friend Finder, or Craigslist and just look for it. That's it.
Is that really going on Craigslist like that? Just like that?
You have to
True.
kind of like sift through some of the spam, but there are some opportunities there.
That's pretty frightening.
It is pretty frightening.
Do you think there's anything healthy about that? To say I don't want to be in a relationship, I just want to bank somebody.
Yeah,
think
there's
that's
nothing. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Okay.
As long as both parties agree, I would say, definitely don't lead someone on and just bang her with the hopes of someday being together.
You have to be upfront about what you want.
Definitely. And
Yeah.
and not be too honest. You just want to say, I just want to have something casual. I'm not looking for anything serious. Because as soon as you tell a girl in the first 10 minutes, I just want to fuck you, that's not going to go over too well.
Is that okay to say, Emily? Is that all right?
It's not okay to say.
Oh, okay.
It is okay to say. He's not lying, but he's not just going to say, oh, yeah, I want to bend you over and have my way with you right now, because a lot of girls are going to reject them, even if they would have had sex with him later on in the date or 20 minutes later.
Right. Again, unless you're rich, I think you probably can't do that.
Yeah, no way.
So the advice then is get lots of money.
Yes.
The
Lots of-
advice is go on Craigslist.
Or pay
Or
for
you could just meet someone in the bar and start a conversation and, ask her to go
Come
home
on,
that
man.
night.
He doesn't want it. He doesn't want social relationships.
He doesn't want to date, but I'm sure he'll go out to the bar and pick up a girl if he knows he's going to score that night. There's lots of willing girls in the bar.
Is that basically what the bars are? Just nests of people who don't want to have a deep relationship?
And vomit, yeah.
And vomiting. Wow. Sounds good. All right, so I think that was really good stuff. Really helpful information. If people want more information from you guys, want to ask you more questions, where can they find you online?
Go to LSDraw.com. They can also go to LSDraw1@gmail.com and send us any type of correspondence.
I love answering questions, so ask some more.
And there's
You guys
also
are on YouTube also, right?
our YouTube channel, LSD Raw.
That's a great name, by the way. I really like that name. That was pretty cool.
You both came up with that? It's very nice.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
All right, guys, that was really fun. Do you have any final words for our audience before we get out of here?
Hey, guys, definitely check out our Worst Dates book at lsdraw.com. It's a collection of bad dating stories shared by women. Please check it out.
Plug.
What, Emily?
And be ballsy.
That was nice.
Stay ballsy.
It's actually stable.
Ballsy, sorry.
It's okay. It's a nice spin on it. It's acceptable.
The women get to
They
say
have
that.
to, they have to be ballsy to get dates. How about that?
Okay. But what if they're
And then
ready?
once you be ballsy, stay that way.
Exactly. And you'll get more dates in women.
So what's the
That is correct.
version of stay ballsy?
Stay ballsy came from, let's see. I once said on a video, "Would you like some balls?" And people really enjoyed that. and then someone made a parody of the
Most interesting man in the world.
the most interesting man in the world, who says, "Stay thirsty, my friends." It was "Stay ballsy, my friends," and we just kind of used that.
Nice.
And we just kept the stay ballsy part.
It swept the nation. So
That's
Did you
awesome.
Yeah.
So that's it. If you want dates and have amazing sex and great love, just stay ballsy. That's what it's all about. So
And check out our site, lsdraw.com.
exactly. So thank you, Emily. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
Thank
And,
you.
if you guys were great. If you have something going on, definitely let us know. We'll get you back in here and You can be like our love correspondents or whatever if you ever have more questions.
Hey, definitely would.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. It's fun.
Once a month. Once a month.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. So, all right, LSDraw.com. All right, our musical guest this week has been an incredible contributor to the show. He's responsible for music on episodes 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, and today's episode of the show, actually, as well as being the man behind the Poorman music in Schnozzman Hole Punch episode 1. Welcome to the show, Taylor, a.k.a. HonoredVillager. Take it away, sir.
I am a pirate. Sailing the ocean. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much, sir.
Excellent stuff. Very good. I really enjoyed that one. Very, very relaxing.
Thank you.
Good stuff.
Very chill.
So we definitely wanted to have you on and thank you for being a great friend of the show, always supplying us with all this great music. So we really appreciate that.
Yeah. It's.
I wanted to ask you, your stuff's really, really, really creative. What inspires your musical creations?
Mm-hmm. It's been a lot of things because just depending on the song you're talking about, like I'll play a different instrument, like that porn music that you're talking about.
Yes.
That was a garage band, and that was an interesting thing because, like you said, I was surprised that
right.
you used it, but it was a pleasant surprise nonetheless.
Awesome.
Well, you should have seen the look on the people in the video's face when it was playing.
Yeah.
So what do you draw your inspiration from for your music? Like what are some other stuff you listen to, or maybe where's it all come from? This creative energy that you got going on.
Well, I guess the first band that I started liking was the Beatles, and then
I've heard of them. Pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, and then Megadeth, and
Bit of a jump.
Coheed, and Ween. You guys like Ween?
I've heard a little bit, not too much
Just
though.
a little bit, I'm afraid.
What about you, Rat?
Jimi Hendrix.
Right on.
Yeah.
It's all good stuff.
Thank you.
So what made you say, like, you gave us a tremendous amount of music. What made you say, I'm going to start making some songs and send them into these guys and see what happens? What made you do that?
Well, back on DSP's page, when people were doing the Thugs on the Floor and other stuff like that, I thought that was really cool, and I thought I could do something like that, but I don't know, I was too lazy, and then you had your thing going, and then you made that offer. And I was like, hey, I could do it. So I think it's a really cool thing that the Ramborgia is a very active entity.
Yes, we are taking over.
Yes.
Slowly taking over, but we are taking over nonetheless.
Yep.
Can we expect to hear more of your stuff in future episodes of the show?
Oh, yeah.
I hope so.
I'm glad to hear that, let me tell you.
Yeah. It's
all excellent stuff, man. Really good.
Thank you.
So, do you have anything to plug? Where can people go if they want to check out more of your stuff? Or where can people find you?
Check out Howard Showcases. He's got some new videos out there. The Dark Souls.
We can find you on those videos? Where can we find you?
No, I don't have anything out.
Why you plugging Howard, man? Did he pay you? Did he put you off on it?
He's a good man.
All right, well, you are on YouTube. I've seen your channel, so why don't you plug that?
I got a YouTube channel called HonoredVillager, and it's got 2 videos on there, and that's about it.
And they're good videos. I've watched them, actually.
Thank you.
So, all right, man. So, do you have any final words for the audience out there?
Stay ballsy.
Oh, it's a good thing to see. You stole my line, but it's a good line nonetheless. All right, guys. Hope really good stuff. Really enjoyed the song, and I hope to have you on again sometime. Who was your friend that played with you?
Yeah,
we didn't announce who he was.
It's E-Rat. He's a good man, and we're having a good time over here.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. I really appreciate it. So we're gonna end the show now. Show will return next week, usual scheduled time, Friday morning. So for OJ, for LSD, for HonoredVillager, this is John signing off. Thank you for being a part of John Rambo Presents, the best in free and optional entertainment. Good night, everybody.